And who was your first teacher?
Miss Kidd.
Miss Elsie Kidd, eh?
Miss Elsie Kidd. That was the year she started.
And did you love her like everyone else? Yeah. She was my first serious girlfriend. How about you?
I guess we were all alike.
She was a lovely lady and a lovely teacher.
There used to be a dozen kids around there at noon waiting for her to come out after lunch, and they all fought over holding her hand all the way to school.
Right on. Many the fight I've had over just holding the doorknob for when she came with the key to open it. And I lost them all.
She was the boss.
Oh, she is a wonderful teacher, and so mild-mannered and gentle, wasn't she? And made everybody feel that they were her favorite.
One of a kind.
You bet. Who was the principal then?
Miss Duff.
Isabella Duff.
Peggy Duff.
She had a plaque in our public school, didn't she? A big brass plaque. I think it said that she taught for 58 years, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
Isabella Duff, wasn't that nice? Yeah. What did they call the grades when you went to school? Was it 1 to 8, or was it
1.
junior 4th?
Well, junior
first book,
one.
second book.
First book, second book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they had all those crazy names. You had to multiply them all by 2. You learned your multiplication tables quite early. Senior 4th was grade 8, was it
Harry
not?
Wanamaker was the best one for the multiplication table.
Harry, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that good?
At 3 o'clock, well, he would start he'd choose up sides, and the last one up got out early. So the stupidest guy in the class, well, he was the last one up.
After a while, it gets somewhat embarrassing. They don't do that this day and age.
You're going through the swamp alone.
So, who was your favorite teacher in public school?
Oh, Miss Kidd.
Miss Kidd, yeah. But she gets an unfair advantage.
Oh, Harry Wanamaker.
Yeah, I think she'd be everybody's favorite teacher. What games or sports did you play in public school?
Oh, goodness.
Did you play...
Tommy Chaplin brought lacrosse sticks. Now, I don't know whether he paid for them. I presume he did.
Was he teaching that?
Yeah, well, then later.
Oh, he
I think
became
Miss
principal?
Duff was 2, maybe 3 years.
Okay,
And then we had Tommy Chaplin.
I see.
And we had lacrosse, baseball.
I'm told that he was a great chap for sports, and he bought lacrosse sticks for you, or
I'm sure
he got
paid
them
for
anyhow.
Yeah.
And any other sports? Softball, hockey?
Well, it was softball. We didn't have hockey in public school.
I see.
A little bit in high school.
Okay, and so then you go into high school. Did you have any departmental exams or entrance exams in those days?
Oh, sure.
You did. Like it was a standard exam from the province, was it?
I presume it was. Ask Connie, she'll know.
And so you go into high school, and you'll be a pretty big lad when you'll go in there. Eh? Everybody's a big wheel, so the principal gets at you for about 10 minutes.
John Harvey? Tell me about it.
How was he?
Hey,
How was John?
He just grabbed you by the neck and looked right out of the seat and stand you out in the aisle.
He was physical.
He was physical.
Yeah. Was he a good teacher?
Don't ask me that. I'll tell you a little story after this is all over, but not in front of everybody else.
And he doesn't rate up there with Miss Kidd.
Oh,
I see.
I don't think anybody could.
Okay.
You couldn't even.
I guess not.
He was a great teacher for Shakespeare. He knew his Shakespeare backwards and forwards. J.F. Harvey.
That must have been from shaking people.
I believe, but he really knew it.
That's all he wrote.
That's
That's all he wrote on.
He knew his Shakespeare.
Did you have large classes then? Like, how many people would be in your class?
Oh, I imagine there'd be
30?
We had some big classes.
Big
Oh,
classes.
yeah. I wasn't keeping track of them. Kept me busy to keep
Yeah.
going to school.
You don't need to tell the rest of these people, but how many girlfriends did you have? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're going through a script before long.
Jim Jackman and I were the only two that had cars. We had our father's cars.
Oh,
Does that tell you anything?
very popular, yeah. Do you have any school pictures, Alex?
It was published in the paper here a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to borrow it?
No, but yes, we do want to borrow.
1936.
We'd like to borrow it and reproduce it and give it back to you.
Well, it was in the Lakewood paper.
Yeah, I know, but newspapers,
It was a better picture than the original.
oh,
They
really?
did a beautiful job.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a dandy picture.
Where would you have your commencement exercises, or your graduation, they call them today? But
We didn't have that.
Didn't
Yes,
have?
we did. Yes, we did.
Hey,
In high school, at the commencement at the town hall.
that was only, what, about the last 2 years, 3 years in high school?
Well,
Grade
I
12
was
and
at
13?
Huh?
Grade 12 and 13.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that was commencement, yeah.
Mhm.
But we did have them.
I thought he was talking about the full term of going to high school. Carry on.
Yeah. Did you, how many years did you go to high school?
5 years.
And you graduated from high school?
I kind
Good.
of.
Well,
Front of the class.
yeah, well, that's, it might elicit some laughter, but in 65 years from now, not that many people graduated from high school, really, so I compliment you. You must have been an academic. Did you take part in any plays or anything like that at school?
Well, now, no, I never took part.
No.
But one time, they sent Jim Crow and I over to Beecher Blake's for to get 10 cents worth of rice. And somebody gave us a quarter, so we got a quarter for it. And they had a big pot up there for this play. And I don't know what kind of heat they had up there. But anyway, they poured this rice in, and the rice started coming out. And I can see Bob Lennox yet. He put the rice in the suitcase. and he's going up with it, and the rice is running out of the suitcase, and the pot's still boiling over all over. It was so slippery in there, they could hardly walk when the play started.
That's a good story. Too bad those refugees from China hadn't been here then.
No wonder they didn't feed it to him.
And that was Bob Lennox, you say?
Bob Lennox.
Oh, I know the age group that you're in.
He was a little older than I was, but he was in
I
the play.
see.
He was in the play.
Uh-huh. Any favorite books? Do you have any reminiscences of any books that you read or took in high school that still remind you? Poetry? Anything like that?
I just finished a book about Ross Perot, and if you want to read an interesting book, it's about him. You know who he was. He was the guy who ran for the president of the United States.
Oh, Ross Perot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Very interesting. Just
Yeah.
finished it.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
can't remember it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
Shakespeare and all those.
Yeah. Did you have any movies when you were going to school? Did they show any movies in the town hall or anywhere?
Oh, they used to have Chautauqua.
Oh, yeah, Chautauqua.
Yeah. That, what, 4 or 5 years that was on there. And then it disappeared, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it died.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was good. That was good. I
And
remember-
where did they
remember
hold
one
that?
night There was a big tall girl who came out on roller skates and sang a song.
Uh-huh.
Then there was a cowboy come out and he was gonna sing a song, and we kept cheering for the girl to come out. And the guy got so mad he walked out.
And
Okay, carry on.
Where did this take place, Alex?
In the town hall. It
In
was
the town hall?
Yeah, it was in Chicago.
Yeah.
I'll interrupt, if I may.
Sure.
May I, please?
This is
I
John
came-
Grill's
Yes, well,
interrupting.
I was probably in kindergarten, this kid's room, and I came home and I told my parents it was going to be really wonderful. They're going to Chautauqua and they were going to have a magician. But I was wrong. They had a guy that played the piano. That's a musician. And I was pretty disappointed, and I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, we've heard some piano players that would have made better magicians.
Yes, you're talking to one.
Alex?
He was a music teacher.
He did all right. He's just kidding us. He graduated from music.
Oh, dear.
Alex, we're really happy that you're a descendant of the Nelson family, because that's really the first family in Lakefield, and that we all accept, most of us accept, that they had settled in a piece of property that became part of Lakefield over in Smith, and you're a descendant of them. I understand John Nelson came to Lakefield in 1820.
I haven't got any dates.
You weren't there at the time.
Bob Dylan has
Yeah. No, well, I'm quoting probably Bob Deldon's research in our book. Why would they have come to Lakefield, do you know?
Well, they, I've heard Thompson Brady say it many times. That he asked his grandmother why they settled where they did. They settled just below, or they stopped just below the locks in Lakefield. And she said they'd walked all the way from Port Hope and they were tired. And they stayed there for some time, and then they took up land west of the river. And that's where they settled.
I see. Uh-huh. And Thompson Braden would be a grandson of the original Mrs. Nelson who came here, would he not?
That's right.
Uh-huh. And how do you descend from the Nelsons? How do you...
Well, my father and Thompson Braden were first cousins.
Okay.
Thompson Braden was the sister of my mother.
I
And my
see.
grandmother, my dad's mother,
Oh. Thompson Braden was a sister of...
my grandmother.
Oh. Or a brother of your grandmother. Uh-huh.
And,
I see. She was a Braden. Then, obviously. Uh-huh. And
But her mother was Nelson.
how many generations have been in Lakefield, counting John Nelson? And then we go to his daughter who married to Braden. That's 2. And then we go to Thompson is 3, or
And my grandmother.
or your grandmother. And then your mother is 4, and you're 5
I guess.
in Lakefield. That's great. And Ben is 6.
The Braden homestead was on the 11th concession, Smith,
Oh.
where the Kembars lived.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather lived next door, west of the Nichols homestead.
Oh, the Nichols lived on the 11th
Yeah.
concession of Smith. Well, if there was a Nichols, but that's not your Nichols, that married Ann Nelson. That's John Nelson's daughter.
I can't tell you.
Uh-huh. Okay. So when did your Nichols family come to Canada, do you know?
I have no idea.
Do you know where the Nelsons were from? What country?
Ireland.
Ireland? Yeah.
So was the Nichols.
And the Nicholses were also? Uh-huh.
Irish is
Okay. Pardon?
I'm glad you didn't hear that.
What other Nelson descendants are in the area now? Any that you know
None that I know.
Nelson too, my son was too, you read Nelson?
Well, yeah, Mary Truth, but her mother was a Blewett, and Mrs. Blewett was a McKibben, and then her mother was of the Nelson family. And then
I
there's
see.
Miss Nelson, the music teacher.
Yeah.
She was
Oh,
another.
yeah.
Miss Nettie Nelson.
Miss Nettie Nelson. Many of us remember
She lived
her.
in the
then,
Redbury Coast next to you.
Uh-huh.
And Harold Trude was from the other side. Harold Trude was a descendant of Sam's, and
Yeah, well, let's get
Mary
into-
was a descendant of Joe Nelson.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she came by through the McKibbens and the Blewetts.
Yeah,
yeah.
What religion were the Nelsons? Do you remember at all?
I have no idea.
I see.
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
I was just gonna say, at a guess, I would say Presbyterian.
Okay. Well, the church was on their property, the old church, I guess.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Might have been some indication. What was the, are you any relation to the Nelsons down Keene Way?
Not that I know
Uh-huh.
They're related through Sam Nelson, indirect. Sam married a Nelson from, Keene.
of. Keene.
Yeah, Scotch Nelson married an Irish Nelson.
Yeah, but there's no direct lineage between Alec and the Nelsons of Keene. Okay. We move along here. Who were your classmates in school, Alec? Or does anyone have any further questions that they might pose to Alec on his family and his the Nelsons or so on? I guess we will carry on. Who were some of your classmates in school, Alec?
Connie
Pardon?
Connie
Connie Orr, uh-huh. You said you had a large class.
You know something? The only one I can think of that went to high school at the last 3 years is Willie Garber.
Welly, oh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
There's,
And he's in that big picture,
that's right.
right?
But there's none of us, we're the only two left that I know of.
Oh,
Joe Blewett, but Joe Blewett, I don't know how long he went, but the last 3 years I was at high school, I don't remember Joe Blewett.
and how old are you today?
29.
29, see, Joe's 32. Did you have any part-time work when you went to school, Alec?
I worked for Tiny Hill,
Tiny Hill,
delivering groceries.
yeah. Tiny Hill is probably the most often repeated name of any merchant in Lakeville.
Mhm.
Where did you work for Tiny Hill? He had a grocery store, didn't he?
Yeah, where Hamilton are
Mhm.
now. It
Where
was
the
the
Remax thing,
Mhm.
yeah.
The original store was a hotel. It was moved out of the canal over there. Then